Welcome to the New England Motocross Show, brought to you by Snow Pro Trailers, presented by Factory Connection and Planet Fitness. I am Travis Stewart, and this is Mike Treadwell.
How you doing? It's good to be here. We're under a little hazy conditions right now. It downpoured earlier today, so we got the second motos were canceled in some classes, third motos in the other classes, but yesterday was phenomenal conditions. Track was perfect, had a little bit of an overcast, little drizzle here and there, but they didn't have to water it all yesterday, and the track was just perfect.
All that and more coming to you right after this.
Tired of hearing the word no? Casco Bay Ford's Alternative Credit Department will work with you and your credit situation. Recent bankruptcy, past repossessions, divorce, slow pay, charge-offs? No problem. Let Casco Bay Ford help you get your credit back on track and get you reliable transportation from our great selection of new and pre-owned cars and trucks with the best warranty in the business. Don't let your low credit score lower your standards. Come to Casco Bay Ford's Alternative Credit Department and get the second chance you deserve. Call us today or visit our website, where the only no you should hear is no problem.
Welcome back to the New England Motocross Show, brought to you by Snow Pro Trailers, presented by Factory Connection and Planet Fitness. This year for the New England Classic, we focused on four major classes, and the first one was the NEMXS Pro Sport. That's the 450 Pro Sport. Mike, you watched that one?
Yeah, it was a good moto. Chad Charbonneau ended up getting the overall. He seems to start slow at this race every year. Last year was the same thing. He had started a little bit slow in the first motos, and then came back and dominated the second moto. I mean, he was on a charge. I mean, he dominated the moto, and he's, you know, I think he gets stronger as this weekend goes on. Those three motos, and I mean, Keith Johnson rode really strong. Mason Phillips was in there. Doobie had a major problem in the first moto and started a lap at least down, and got with the lead pack and proved that he could run up front. But you know, Morrison was in there. It was all around. It was good racing, tight racing.
I got a good start finally, and you know, I just kind of put my head down and went. I didn't really get a good first moto in the 250 class. I fell, lost my brakes, so you know, it's good to get out front and get a win. like Robbie a lot. He tried to take me out pretty hard at the bottom of the hill and rode hard, tried to get back behind. He ended up taking himself out. Get really that great of a start, and got around Morrison. He passed me once and I got back by him, and then went after Keith and passed him down one of those downhills over there, and then just kind of checked out, made sure I had a comfortable lead if I made a little mistake or whatever. So that was about it.
Are you happy with this race?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Awesome. Congratulations. Any shout out to your sponsors?
Yeah, I gotta thank first off, I gotta thank my mom and dad, my trainer JoJo Keller, Trolley Designs, Decal Works, Ride Engineering, Ziggy, Mike, Factory Connection, can't thank them enough, Continental Paving, Scott Goggles, Works Connection, anyone else I forgot, thanks.
The next race we went to was the MX Lights A Pro Sport, and that's where we saw yet another showdown between, early on Marshall, Morrison, Doobie just cleaning that one up from start to finish in both classes.
Yeah, both motos. Doobie, well, second moto, Doobie, the first moto was untouchable, whole shot, wire-to-wire moto win, easy for him. That's perfect conditions, I think, for Craig. Craig's one of the faster riders that are out in New England right now, and he's when you put him on a track that's smooth and perfect little ruts and stuff, he excels at that, and I kind of predicted that one. First moto, just whole shot, wire-to-wire, easy win for him. Second moto, though, Charbonneau put on a charge and led past Craig and led the whole moto and lost his brakes, and Craig got him back on the last lap actually to take the win to get the 1-1. But it was a strong performance by all those guys. I mean, Keith Johnson stuck his nose in there again for third, rode really well. Morrison was in there again. Like I said, the top five guys could throw a blanket over all of them most of the moto. They were all pretty tight, so it was good racing all the way around.
Tried to get the whole shot and pull away as fast as I could, and I ended up doing that.
Fell on the start, got run over, lost my brakes. Started about 30 seconds behind and just kind of pushed for a few laps.
like you said, I got the start, and I just tried to, right off the bat, just pull it right away. And I'm actually Mason Phillips kind of cut in on me, and I just in the second corner got right back by him. But yeah, I just tried to pull away fast and try to keep the momentum around the corners, just try to keep that pace the whole time, and it worked out.
Awesome. Are you confident for the next race?
Yeah, pretty confident. I gotta just do the same thing, get a start, and try to pull away. It's gonna be hard to, any guy out there, can, they can do that. So you gotta start big thing, key.
From the production line to the starting line, Snow Pro Trailers is the industry leader in quality, strength, and versatility. Rest assured that when race day rolls around, you'll be transporting your bikes, sleds, race cars, and ATVs with a proven winner. So make it a Snow Pro atop the trailer podium since 1996. The next class that we got a lot of coverage of was the schoolboy four-stroke class, and this was one of the classes that only got one moto out on the track, and coming out of the gate we knew it was going to be a showdown between Ohio's Sean Reif and New England's very own Jimmy Dakota. Sean, one of the national guys out there in the circuit, came up to test with Factory Connection. That moto, unbelievable. They started going at it, and Jimmy ended up going down.
But Jimmy, I think, Jimmy lost the moto, but I think Jimmy should be proud of himself because, like you said, Sean is a national contender. Every race he goes to, he's one of those guys that's highly touted to be in contention to win. And Jimmy went down and then actually started catching him a little bit. He rode aggressive, rode hard, rode strong, and that's what you need to do. And the motos weren't as long as I think Jimmy would like him to be, but he impressed me, he really did. All these other races he's been winning really easily. And not to say that there isn't a lot of competition, but as far as the national level guys, you know, that right there was a good test for him. You know, so I was proud of him.
Well, after the schoolboy four-stroke class where we saw that showdown, we went right into the B classes, the MX Lights B classes, the stock and mod. Going out into the stock, it was Jimmy and Rife yet again going at it, only this time Rife was on his 125 two-stroke, Jimmy had the four-stroke stock bike, and they went at it. This was a battle that, you know, it's like they unleashed both riders and they came out to duel it out.
Rife being one of the guys that's, you know, every race he goes to, he's in contention to win. He's used to winning. So, and Jimmy's saying, "Hey, you're on my turf. You know, I'm not gonna back down one bit." And that's what you need to do. And Jimmy needs to take that mentality into Loretta's. He needs to take the hometown. Here I am. This is my, you know, you're in my house. You know, home court advantage type of thing, and bring that attitude to Loretta's, because he proved today that he can run with the best in the country. So that was a good race.
And it is a lot harder to have that mentality on a gate where you're sitting next to 42 Sean Rifes, well, 41 Sean Rifes and one Justin Barsha.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to get in his head, and he's going to have to, you know, definitely try and take that into there. The MX mod class, the MX Lights mod B class, was another showdown between the two, only this time Rife goes down in like the third corner and now has to make his way up through the pack. Did so to get, you know, at least the top 10 finish. Yeah. You know, blitzed through the pack, but Jimmy fell in the front, went back to about 4th or 5th, and you saw his comeback in that class. He's showing everybody else that he does have what it takes, you know, and he's not going to be second best to anyone.
No, that's what it is. You know, determination. You got to have determination, and Jimmy has it, and so I mean, it's good. He just needs to get that attitude in his head, you know, and that's the biggest thing with, you know, I find all the years that I've been racing, guys from New England, you can get, if other people come to New England, you know, they can beat them. You know, guys from New England can you know, do really well against national caliber guys. It's when we get out of New England, we get out of our comfort zone. It's like a pro basketball team playing on the road. You know, sometimes they don't play as well on the road. They get back home and they're, you know, the Celtics were undefeated almost at home in the playoffs. So you got to be able to do it on the road. You know,
exactly.
first, but that's racing and that's what happens. I mean, you're gonna bump, you're gonna grind and everything out there. I mean, I kind of like brake checked him a little bit. He kind of came in on me a couple times. So I mean, that's racing, that happens. But everyone's gonna do that at Loretta's and at the big amateur nationals and the big nationals. I mean, no one's gonna take it easy on you. You're just the same as everyone else. So.
Second moto was pretty good. We was banging a little bit, and then we both come into the corner hot, and there was only one rut, and we kind of hit, and he went over the berm. And
And for those B classes, we don't want to leave anybody out. There was a lot of battling going on. Myrick made his way up there. Grace, Tomaszak in the 450 class was on it. There was a lot of guys doing some big things, and you'll see that in the video as well.
Yeah, the A classes too. I mean, the double gate drop. Some of the A classes, you know, Bagley and Derek Almy.
Klickstein getting a win. Almy was unreal in the A class.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Good racing all the way around. You know, Doobie had a good lead in that 125 moto, and I just started watching the A guys behind them that started on the second gate drop, and they were just second through seventh. Derek had a bit of a lead, and second through seventh were just slamming paint, trading paint for every lap, every corner. It was
and
good.
the 122 of Williams putting in a heck of a ride this weekend. His first ride, in the A class.
Yeah, I actually was like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah,
literally, and I didn't know who it was, and then they told me. I was like, "Wow, he's flying! He rode really, really good." So it was cool all the way around. It was good racing.
It was good racing. Well, that's going to do it for us for the New England Motocross Show. We're going to leave you with a little bit more footage. You can see the mud behind us. It's time for us to head home, get cleaned up, shaved up.
Maybe shave a little bit.
Thanks again for watching. We want to thank our sponsors, Snow Pro Trailers, Factory Connection, and Planet Fitness. Go to our website to check out more on our sponsors and some more video. That's NEMXS.com. Thanks for watching, guys.
I freak beat, slam it like iron sheet. Jam like a tech with correct techniques.
Beats is cooked, bass burning like it's lava.
One.
Throw it together more iller than Magaba.
When the last time you heard it like this? Get down. When they pump it in the Jeeps, it's gon' rock right.
True.
In the streets, it's gon' rock right.
True.
At a show, it's gon' rock right. True. Here we go with the butters, boo. You know how we do.
Attention, listener.
On the beat.
Good and decent and well-adjusted people will simply let this record continue.
And it goes a little something like this.
I freak beat, slam it like iron sheet. Jam like a tech with correct techniques.
Beats is cooked, bass burning like it's lava.
One.
Throw it together more iller than Magaba.
When the last time you heard it like this? Get down. When
rock right.
True.
In the streets it's gon' rock right.
True.
At a show it's gon' rock right.
True.
Here we go with the butters, boo, you know how we do.
Attention listeners.
On the beat, on the beat.